For all of the times that I've talked about Michelle Trachtenberg and the Gift Tower Sacrifice episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer on my channel, I don't feel that I have mentioned Claire Kramer as Glory anywhere near enough. In fact, if it weren't for Glory, Michelle Trachtenberg's character Dawn Summers would never have even existed in the first place. As it says here, Glory was a god from a hell dimension and was the major antagonist of the 5th season. She first appeared in episode 5 and made appearances in 12 other episodes throughout the season, including the finale, The Gift, which in my opinion should have been the series finale, as it was the absolute pinnacle of the show. And that is because of Claire Kramer and Michelle Trachtenberg. There was never a better villain on the show than Glory. Probably my favorite character, honestly. And as it says here, her notable aliases were Glorificus, that which cannot be named, the Abomination, and of course, the Beast. And again, Michelle Trachtenberg's character Dawn would not have even existed had it not been for Glory, because Glory was trying to find the key to the Hell portal. And to hide it from her, because she was absolutely unstoppable, a group of monks turned it into human form, aka Dawn Summers, and sent it to Buffy, building memories in her and all of her friends' minds so that they all believed that Dawn was actually her sister and not the key. Now, when Glory shows up in Season 5, Episode 5, we find out what Dawn really is. Now, it takes most of the season for Glory to get wind that Dawn is the key, and when she does, she of course takes Dawn to be the Tower Sacrifice. So Glory, absolutely integral to this puzzle, just like Michelle Trachtenberg. And Michelle, aka Dawn Summers' first appearance on the show was in the episode titled Buffy vs. Dracula, which is quite important, but I'm going to get to that in another video when I talk about Charles III and the whole Bell gift he gave to Trump. Claire Kramer's first appearance on the show, and when we find out that Dawn is the key, is an episode titled No Place Like Home. Of course, that being a reference to The Wizard of Oz. Very Seattle-coded. Now, I said a while back in one of my videos that I found out something incredible about Michelle Trachtenberg and Claire Kramer that I was going to mention in a future video, that I thought it was so absolutely important, something that I, for whatever reason, had forgotten to look at, but something so important that I thought it deserved its own video. And this right here is that information. For some reason, I never looked to see how long it was from Claire Kramer's birthday, 9/3 in the year 1974, to Michelle's 40th birthday, her first birthday after she was killed on 2/26 last year. And when I looked at that date distance, I was absolutely thrown for a loop. Because check this out. From the birth of Claire Kramer to Michelle's 40th birthday, her first birthday after dying, it's 18,666 days. Now, how absolutely incredible is this information right here? Remember that Glory was the beast, the abomination, that which cannot be named, the hell goddess. And from her birth date in 74 to the very first birthday of Michelle's after she died, we have our 18 and we have our 666. And of course, 18 is 666. So really, it's twin 666s. Not to mention 1/8 being Elvis's birth date. The Gift, the tower sacrifice on Memphis's founding date. Not only that, but season 5, episode 22. So, if I had not proven it before, this should beyond all means prove that Claire Kramer and Michelle Trachtenberg were both chosen for their respective roles for a reason. And yes, both of them were an absolute breath of fresh air, to put it lightly. They were both fantastic. They made that season the best season of the show by far. But again, chosen for reasons beyond that. 100%. Or maybe I should say 110%, given all the 110s associated with The Gift. And let me show you this. 1 times 8 times 6 times 6 times 6 equals 1728. Now we all know by now, of course, that June 11th equals 141, which is also our World War III Seattle Slew number. But look in Latin. June 11th equals 1728 in the hardest cipher to find matches. And again, 1 times 8 times 6 times 6 times 6 equals 1728, or June 11th. So some people might get sick of me talking about the importance of the Gift Tower Sacrifice episode of Buffy on Memphis's founding date. Some people might get sick of me talking about the importance of Michelle Trachtenberg, Claire Kramer as well, but I talk about them for a reason, and this is just further proof of why. They are all very key to this puzzle. And do note that June 11th also equals 5-1 in reduction. Of course, that number is all about sacrifice. 5-1, May Day, the day of pagan sacrifice, and 57 in reverse reduction. Michelle Trachtenberg sacrificed, in my opinion, on the 57th day of 2025, which of course was 226. And Seattle Slew died on 5-7, the 127th day of the year. Seattle Slew, just like June 11th, equals 141 ordinal. And you know I always love multiplying those triple numbers. 18 times 666 equals 11,988, or our backwards 911 with our 88 portal number, the Lionsgate portal date. Michelle Trachtenberg being used by Claire Kramer to open the Hell portal. And of course, as is always the case when you multiply those triple numbers, 11 plus 988 brings it back around to 999, or our upside down 666. Now from Claire's birth to Michelle's 40th birthday, also 51 years, 1 month, 18 days. That can be your 5-1 May Day pagan sacrifice number with your 18666 number, Elvis birthday. It can also be May 11th plus 8 equals 519. 519 is the 421st composite. Remember, the Seattle Space Needle opened on 421 and Rome was founded on 421. Tower sacrifice. The Space Needle is certainly a tower. And 2,666 weeks, 4 days. That has your 26 for the year 2026, your 666, and your 64, the Space Needle's current age, and an absolutely loaded number. So yeah, why I never looked at this before is beyond me. I guess I just figured it'd be more important to look at the dates where Michelle was alive, when she died, etc., than to look at her first birthday after she passed. But I'm glad I finally looked at this. Now, of course, Seattle Slew was born the same year Claire Kramer was born. In fact, he was born 200 days before she was. The 200th day of the year, by the way, is 7/19, Trump's reverse birth date. Seattle Slew was also born 6 months, 19 days before Claire. And 6 months and 19 days into the year is also 7/19, Trump's reverse birth date. And now for the absolute clincher. Seattle Slew was born 28 weeks and 4 days before Claire Kramer. Michelle Trachtenberg, born on the 284th day of the year, 9 months, 11 days into the year. So again, there you have it. It's even 54.79% of 1974, Trump the 45-47 president, and is 79 currently, and through 6/11. Claire was born 4,056 days before Michelle was born. 405 plus 6, of course, is 411, and 411 is 6/11 on the Roman calendar. Don't forget all the crazy events on 4/11 this year. Seattle getting their Data statue, that patient Zero Leo dying, etc. Also, they were born 11 years, 1 month, 18 days apart. November 1st plus 8 days is November 9th, our backwards 9/11. Or it can just be 11/18. And 11/18 is the 322nd day of the year. Remember that 322 is Michelle Trachtenberg's reverse birth date. Then again, there's also the fact that 111 times 8 is 888, our beast system number. Claire Kramer played the beast. And 133 plus 8 equals 141, our June 11th Seattle Slew World War III number. Remember how that connects to the 18666. Because June 11th also equals 1728 in Latin. And again, that is by far the hardest cipher to find matches. And in the same year, June 11th is 84 days before Claire's birthday. Or 2 months, 23 days, of course. The backwards 322. Michelle's reverse birth date, 322. And I've been talking about 223 a lot lately. And again, this is another newer find that I've been meaning to share. But if you go from Claire Kramer's birth date to Trump's birth date in this same year, it's exactly 284 days. Remember that Michelle Trachtenberg was born on the 284th day of the year, 9 months and 11 days into the year. Which of course means that Claire's birthday is also 9 months and 11 days before Trump's. So again, Claire Kramer and Michelle Trachtenberg, chosen for their roles for a reason. Both incredibly likable. Both make that season the best season of the show by far. But both absolutely chosen for a reason. Beyond mere talent and likability. And it continues if you go from Trump's birthday to Claire's in the same year. 81 days. Again, Michelle Trachtenberg's reverse birthday is the 81st day of the year, 322, and her birth date leaves 81 days remaining in the year. Also, 2 months and 20 days. Again, the gift is all about the tower sacrifice. It was on Memphis's founding date, 5/22. It was season 5, episode 22, 5 times 22, of course, equals 110. The amount of floors in each of the World Trade Center towers was 110. Combine them and get 220. Although there was a third, because Michelle's birthday, 10/11, 10 times 11 is 110 as well. And we can't forget that the 220th day of the year is 8/8, the Lionsgate portal date. Again, that episode all about opening the Hell portal, and on 8/8 last year, Weapons came out with Gladys Lilly, a perfect cipher match to Donald Trump. In my opinion, that movie predicting Trump's recovery from his eventual head wound. Now, isn't it also interesting that if we include Claire Kramer and Michelle Trachtenberg's full names together in a gematria calculator, it equals 162, our 611 in Chaldean. Go figure, right? Also in reverse Sumerian, 5022 or 522. Memphis's founding date, the gift, tower sacrifice, air date. Also 288. Remember that can be 216 because 8 plus 8 is 16. And 288 is the 226 composite. Michelle Trachtenberg died on 226. And yes, it's Claire Elizabeth Kramer and Michelle Christine Trachtenberg. So Claire has the EL in her name, and Michelle has the Christ in her name. And how convenient is it that diabetes equals 216, our 84 in Latin? And like I always say, Latin is absolutely the hardest cipher to find matches in. And the official story is that Michelle Trachtenberg died of complications due to diabetes. Of course, you know that I 110% believe that she was sacrificed, and nothing will convince me otherwise. Everything I've dug up 100% leads me to believe that. There's no convincing me otherwise. I mean, she was the tower sacrifice for a reason. She was born 9 months, 11 days into the year. The gift aired before the actual tower's sacrifice in 2001. The gift aired on Memphis's founding date and was season 5, episode 22. That's 2 522s. 5 times 22 is 110. 2 110s, symbolizing each of the twin towers, as they had 110 floors each. And Michelle's birthday, 10 times 11, is also 110. You know they like to do things with threes. Building 7 didn't have 110 floors, but all the same. But that 216 in Latin, just further proof of how important Michelle, Claire, and the gift, heck, the entirety of season 5 of Buffy, are to this intricate puzzle. And I haven't even gotten into the connections with the bell that Charles III gifted Trump yet, nor the rest of the connections to Timothy and Jennifer McVeigh that I started on in my earlier video. That won't be in this video though. This is a shorter video. That's part of a longer video coming up, along with my second part of my Olivia Rodrigo decode. And don't forget another absolutely incredible newer find from my McVeigh video. Memphis was founded on the 142nd day of the year. And 142 plus 142 equals 284. Michelle Trachtenberg, born on the 284th day of the year. Again, 9 months, 11 days into the year. So, Memphis's founding date twice equals Michelle's birth date. And she was the tower sacrifice on Memphis's founding date. Season 5, Episode 22 on 5/22. So not only do the two 5/22s signify the Twin Towers, they also signify two 142s to equal 284. Michelle Trachtenberg's birthday, 10/11. All coded into the episode. That, my friends, is what I call an absolutely colossal deal. Actually, this whole video is what I call colossal. But yeah, it wasn't until looking into the Timothy McVeigh connections to Trachtenberg that I actually realized that if you add up 142 plus 142, it equals 284. Michelle Trachtenberg, born on the 284th day of the year. Absolutely unbelievable. And if you want one final zinger for this shorter video, remember that Donald Trump declared himself the chosen one on August 21st, 2019. The actual series finale of Buffy the Vampire Slayer is titled Chosen. And it was Season 7, Episode 22. 7/22, of course, is 6/11's reverse date. The 144th episode of the series overall. Remember that 144 equals all kinds of bad things like alien invasion, economic reset, mark of the beast, Jesuit order, etc. And again, Trump said he was the chosen one on August 21st. 8/21 is the 142nd prime. When did the gift air? What is Memphis's founding date? The 142nd day of the year. And from Trump saying that to the death of Michelle on 2/26/2025, exactly 2016 days. Our 2/16, August 4th. Also, 5 years, 6 months, 5 days. May 6th plus 5 days is 5/11. 5 months, 11 days into the year is 6/11. 56 plus 5 is also 61, which is the 18th prime. And it's also 66 months, 5 days. June 6th plus 5 days is our 6/11. And over there in the weeks, 288 weeks exactly. Remember, that can also be 216 if you add up the 8s, and 288 is the 226th composite. So, even more interesting that the series finale was called Chosen, because both Claire and Michelle absolutely chosen for a reason. In fact, if you add up the date numerology of when Trump claimed himself to be the chosen one and Michelle's death date, it adds up to 141, which of course is our Seattle Slew June 11th World War III number. And remember what I showed about June 11th's gematria earlier in regards to the 18,666, which is by far the biggest find of this video. A huge colossal find among many huge colossal finds. But anyway, that's all for now. A lot more to come on this topic. All glory to God, and thank you for watching.